right.
The Whiskey Bros, your source for whiskey, wine, and everything fine.
Like, who's the father of that one? Yeah,
In what movie? Wasn't that Dazed and Confused?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
That was a cult classic from my early
God
days.
save the Queen, man.
God
save the Queen, man.
What is?
That's
Do
our
I go this way?
president,
Do I go this way or this way? Oh,
This
what?
way.
Where?
No,
Oh,
no,
this way.
No, wait.
sir. He always takes off jogging.
Yeah, he
Like,
always.
if you've not seen this, every time he moves, he takes off jogging.
Yeah, he always does the little.
Yep.
Oh, look how spry I am. What? Thumbs up. Trump is an
Save the
egotistical
Queen, man.
maniac. I will admit that. But is anybody really proud to be an American right now?
Well, is he? He said, "God save the Queen." He thinks he's British.
Yeah, he is British, and the Queen is dead too, obviously, or is she?
Yeah.
Is that some conspiracy rabbit hole we can go down?
Oh man, I mean, she's like 1,000 years old if she's alive. So,
awful.
I mean, supposedly
It
she
just
drinks the
makes
blood of
sense.
children. That's one of the many conspiracy theories. To stay young, they've been accused of that.
Him?
No,
I
the
was going to say
Queen.
it's not
The royal.
working.
No, the Queen, the royal family. That's what how they had all the longevity supposedly
Yep.
is.
Did you notice the music that was dubbed into this though?
Yeah.
God save the Queen, man.
That's
Oh, I'm feeling dirty already. We had to bring him out so early.
Well,
It's just like, should we laugh or should we feel scared and a little bit sorry for him? You know what I mean?
You have to laugh.
But do you feel
Because
a
we
little
are-
bit sorry for him?
No.
Does he
No.
know what's going on?
You know who I feel sorry for?
I mean, it
Us.
is elderly abuse, obviously, but
I have that sick laugh, that nervous laugh. That
we all have the same laugh that we have when the sub. We all thought everybody was just sitting inside a submarine,
Yeah.
Waiting to be rescued.
yeah.
I think we all laugh nervously because it's like, what if that was us? So everybody, and a way of processing that, handled it with memes and laughter.
Yeah.
And then when we found out, no, they perished before they even knew they were perishing.
And that's
It's like,
much
okay.
better.
and there's no way that normal people would do that.
No.
But man, his son's dropping off cocaine in his house. I wish he'd just get some of that.
Yeah, cocaine in the White House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you see what they're saying.
Yeah. It's, we may never find out whose that might be.
Yeah, because it was somewhere near where the tour might have been.
Yeah, or it could have been members of the press. Anyways,
But
joining
one
us
of the-
tonight.
I hate to say it, there's been cocaine in the White House since the 60s.
And everybody's, I mean, the rumor is that what Trump was on would make cocaine look mild. He was on a concoction of amphetamines to keep him going because he was sleeping like 3 or 4 hours a night and still trying to operate at 40 chest levels. So
I would not doubt it. Anyways, joining us tonight is obviously a friendly voice you've heard here before. Carson Sands is back on with us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Of whatyourcpa.com.
That's us.
And What Your CPA Wants to Know on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere else.
Yeah, check it out.
How many episodes deep are y'all in now?
27, I believe.
Oh my God.
getting
You're
there.
halfway to us.
Man, you got more than what we have.
Yeah.
We're
What are we, like 22?
no, y'all have way more than that.
50. This is our 53rd.
Oh,
I think 53rd
Okay.
or 54th. I don't
okay,
remember.
cool.
That's how many listeners we might have is 23.
Okay.
Getting confused. Yeah.
Are we up to 23? That's
Maybe.
awesome.
Yeah, so y'all
Probably
are
since the
podcast
last
veterans
podcast
now.
we did.
We're trying to be. Taryn is awesome at it. She was editing podcasts while she was at the volleyball practice for Sailor today.
Oh,
so she had to sit there for 2 hours. So she just sat there and edited podcasts.
That's some dedication. So she's got her laptop and headphones on at practice and editing the podcast.
yeah, because we're actually really stupid and we have to sound smart. So You know, she has to cut out a bunch of stuff. No, we just have. I mean, we're not public speakers. You know, we have to cut out a lot of ums and buts and re-saying things. But she does a lot of that kind of work.
Well,
and
y'all
we
have
need to record 3 episodes before we go out of town.
That's true.
They have what Doc would consider a professional podcast.
Yeah,
Yes.
professional. Yes,
Yes.
Obviously-
That is not
obviously,
us.
We do not do.
You don't
any
have
of
to
that.
worry about cutting out the ums, the ums, and the dead air here because we're not professional. So the stress is off. Don't worry. Take a load off.
Yeah. Speaking of which, what's the word of the day?
Word of the day. Oh, when's the last time you listened to an episode of ours?
The one before last. I don't think I've listened to the ones that Guardians of the Children
Good.
one yet.
So Doc's got this new non-alcoholic
this-
whiskey we tried. You want to hand him that?
Non-alcoholic.
Yeah. No, I was
Give it a little sip.
thinking we would stick a
You know, Doc's
word
not
of the
going to
day.
give it to him.
Are y'all
Might as
tricking
well
me?
tell him to give it.
Should
to
have
him.
listened to the episode. Should
I
have
think
listened.
he needs to try a sip because we all have.
Yeah, you tried the.
It's whiskey. It's not Malort.
I got this
not
because my
Malort.
daughter really wanted to try whiskey and Total
really
Wine.
non-alcoholic?
It's non-alcoholic.
Yeah, we tried it.
Non-alcoholic.
We tried it on the last podcast. The bottle's floating around here somewhere.
It's yeah.
Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't taste like much.
Ugh.
It kind of tastes like bubblegum medicine.
No, we said it tasted like the
smell it right
spray when your throat hurts.
Chloroseptic. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Your throat will start going numb in a minute.
Yep,
Good.
So they've just added some coloring to that. Started selling as non-alcoholic
I
whiskey.
think so.
But it doesn't taste like. It's not like non-alcoholic beer tastes like beer.
Exactly.
Yeah, that does not taste like whiskey at all.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that being made into a cocktail or what they call a
No.
mocktail.
Mocktail.
And people going, oh, this tastes just like a
Can I
normal
have something to
old
wash
fashioned.
that out of my mouth with?
Give him something better.
You want
than that.
you want real alcohol?
Sure.
Okay, all right, here it is.
That's what it's going to take.
What was I supposed to just look up? What were oh man, this
Is that even worth? I mean, that's,
word of the day. I'm gonna
that's really bad stuff. Do we want to do that to anybody?
yes.
What?
How about butt? The word of the day is
Like a buttocks or butt. Hey, you need
Butt.
it. Yeah.
Junction,
No,
junction.
we're here. We're going to make this completely fair. Number of
Random.
words, one less.
Okay, so
Generate.
the
random
risk
words.
is nobody actually says the word of the
those
day.
words that are going to come. Yeah, get.
Here,
Get.
I'll let you pour your.
That's
own.
going to be tough.
Can't say get.
Should we
so.
do another one?
It's a really good Okaneden.
Transition. Okay,
Chartreuse.
that's a little better.
Yeah,
Get's going to be tough to not say.
yeah.
So
Okay.
we can't say transition starting.
No.
It sucks because we can't talk about
Now.
trainees.
Yeah. You just
You
can't
can.
say that. You can still say trainees, but
Okay, starting now. That's the word.
But yeah. So back to
What's
what
the
you were
punishment
saying.
if you say it?
You got to
finishing that.
You got to finish that.
I think we all agreed we'd take Malort over that.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty freaking awful.
Like, there's
But
no
I would
question.
still drink that over the smoky thing.
Smokestack.
Yeah.
Would you really? I think
Yes.
I would. I don't know. I might take.
It wasn't
smokestack
that
over
bad.
that.
It just didn't taste like anything.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, I think they both are pretty nasty.
Oh, by the way, Carson, we have to give you the unfortunate news that you cannot join us with the dad bod car wash. Okay.
Yeah.
You look a little too good.
Yeah, all right. You put us all to shame. So, I mean, you can come and be a spectator. You just can't wash cars if you're feeling so inclined.
I'll leave my shirt on.
You have to wear a fake gut.
Yeah.
It just takes a few days of bad eating, and I'll be there.
Okay.
I'll be where I need to be.
We don't condone body shaming on this show at all.
No, it's going to be good. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah,
it's
and
gonna
we've
be
got
fun.
some pink shirts,
Yeah.
courtesy of Wise Liquors.
Wise Liquors.
Ader Liquors.
Ader Liquors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a little off from last night. Late night. Late night.
Late 10 o'clock night.
Okay, so we've established the word of the day that nobody can say.
What was it again?
Nice try. Hey, so obviously Carson's joining us, and we were just chatting with you. You're off social medias of all types,
Yeah.
even Twitter.
Yeah. All of them.
Do you-
For how long?
Yeah.
Oh man, I was off everything for years, probably 3 years, and then I did get on Twitter after Elon bought it. Just to,
Yeah.
I liked the idea of what he was trying to do,
Yeah.
but it was
Me too.
I didn't ever really enjoy it in the first place. I don't think it's a good a good platform to begin with.
Yeah.
So I mean, the fact that Mark Zuckerberg spent all the money to try to copy it, I was like, but you already have something that's better. But whatever. I think he just wanted to spend his money to stick it to Elon.
They need those write-offs. Yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't enjoying it. And I got on Reddit for a little bit too, because I kept looking up things and I trusted some of the Reddit sources. I know that sounds dumb, but
but like they're anonymous, so they're somehow more trustable.
Isn't that weird? Yeah, because anything else that is, I guess, corporate or government endorsed, I feel like I don't trust them.
But then Reddit inevitably turns into like a whiny cesspool.
There's so many people on there, but it is fun to get on the anti-work one and just see how crazy those people are.
Anti-work, anti-cars. Have you seen that one?
Anti-cars.
No cars or whatever. They're against any kind of mobile like cars, trains.
Do they live in New York City? There's no other way.
I don't know. I guess so. They can't be rural folks. That's
what do they
sure.
call those people? They are Luddites, right?
Luddites.
People who,
like the Amish.
Who don't do technology.
But I don't think they're the ones posting on Reddit.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think it's just abysmal Marxists. Pardon me, because I know you're a fan of Karl Marx now, but.
The dude's interesting.
But basically,
I don't. Yeah, you can't call me a fan.
I know. I'm just giving you shit.
I heard y'all talked about it on one of the recent podcasts. You read it, the Communist Manifesto.
Yeah, and I think most everybody should.
And have you read the rebuttal from Ayn Rand, which is basically just this is John Galt chapter of Atlas Shrugged?
No.
Well, I read Atlas Shrugged.
It's the chapter where he goes on the radio and talks to everybody. It's about 3 times longer than the Communist Manifesto. It's only one chapter of the book, and it's supposed to be her Randian manifesto.
Yeah,
that's the problem with Ayn Rand, however you say her name, is she was a little too long-winded. I think a lot of people are turned off. But what is the Marxist Manifesto?
The Communist Manifesto
by Karl Marx.
Pretty much it. What was it? 1860s was whenever it came out.
Yeah, how many pages?
It's been long enough. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
but I will
probably
say
less than 100.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's short. There's a book that you tout, okay, an early classic work that you think you've said everybody should read, and I've not read it.
Thomas Paine, The Age of Reason.
Yeah, The Age of Reason.
Well, there's two by Thomas Paine, The Age of Reason
and Common Sense.
Common Sense.
Common Sense.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
I've read Common Sense. I haven't read Age of Reason.
Yeah, Age of Reason is kind of I wouldn't say anti-religious, although it may come across as such, but it's more of a agnostic point of view. He would proclaim himself as a deist, and that God or whatever creator of the giant clockwork of the universe doesn't need to reduce itself to a specific religion.
Right.
And it's a very long book, but a very good one, very eye-opening. And the guy, even though this was done pre-Revolutionary War, both of his books, it makes you feel like they were written just a few months ago in modern times. It's pretty alarming. Common Sense especially.
So whenever you look at the grand arc of history, it was works like that which kind of led to this kind of revolutionary time period we went through, with the American Revolution and then with the French Revolution, which then gave birth to the level of thinking which Marx wrote from, which fueled the what do they call that, intelligentsia, fueled the development of communist governments, essentially.
Is it a little ironic that if I want to read or listen to an audiobook of the Communist Manifesto, I have to pay capitalist dollars to?
Yeah.
I mean, don't they distribute that for free?
Yeah.
Do they?
No.
You can read it for free, but not the audio version.
Yeah, not the audio. But the idea is that essentially humanity has been a war of economic power and oppression.
Yeah.
And so that's, in order to write that, you create a fair civilization. Unfortunately, it doesn't work.
Yeah, from whose point of view is fair, though? That's the problem, is everybody has their own subjective point of view of what's fair to them.
I mean, I think it all goes back to the natural resources. They think that just because somebody found them first doesn't mean it's theirs. And then all of capitalism builds off of that.
Yeah, true. So what's the next big leap? Asteroids and moon mining of moon minerals from the moon and Mars and asteroids?
There's already people that have, groups against it.
Yeah.
Even though we don't even have the technology to do it. They exist. They're against the idea that we've already raped this planet and that we're going to go and do the same to space. I'm not joking. These people are out there.
Don't nuke our space, bro.
No, I will say there's a great book. If you scroll down to the bottom.
Okay, I'm scrolling. Scrolling.
Okay, this is Frankfurt. Okay, in 2005, he published a book, and this is an academic work, and it's on the term bullshit. The book is called On Bullshit.
Okay.
Right? But it's about the difference between lies and bullshit. And I would say we have a pretty good bullshit meter. Of course, everybody thinks they do.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of people that get scammed.
Yeah. So bullshit is this kind of special kind of deception, which is like it's not a lying to oneself, but it's just a non-acknowledging of factors that are true.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of bullshit going on. There's a lot of bullshit that kind of led us through our social regimes that we've seen in the last century.
Interesting. Yeah.
A whole lot of bullshit.
Yeah. Because it benefits somebody else in the long run.
Yeah.
Somebody's looking to take advantage
Politicians
of
are great bullshitters.
Yeah. I mean, we're probably good bullshitters here, right? I mean, we're just sitting around the table bullshitting.
Yeah.
You can't really come to this table and vet us for what may be accurate. Or, I mean, you kind of take it with a grain of salt. And
That's true. Yeah. Take what we say with a grain of salt. That's your message.
Yes. Sure.
If anybody listens to the podcast while people are drinking whiskey, and I mean, we're talking about anything we're not experts on, and they're like, I'm going to use that advice to change my life, then they
That's on you.
get what's coming to them.
That's on them. We do not take responsibility.
If you take any advice from me that's not accounting related, then that's on you.
There's plenty of things that we've told people to do on here that would change their lives, especially the vegans.
Yeah, and the bidets.
We've told them not to be vegans.
Yeah.
Surely we've changed somebody's lives with bidet talk.
Surely.
Yeah.
I still want one. I think that they're such a good idea.
Well, you have two people here at this table now. You can come sample their.
I think it was the dude from Arrested Development. What's Will Arnett? That's what he talked about that on a podcast. He was like, imagine you're running in your favorite super tready shoes. You step in dog crap. It's like, you're just gonna dab at it with a paper towel? Are you gonna spray that thing off with a hose? That's what you're doing every day. You're not getting clean. You're just dabbing it.
I bet I use a fourth of the toilet paper.
Oh yeah, you're down to one wipe.
Yep,
you're done.
Yep, and
we're not small fellas.
And my asshole is a lot happier.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're glorious.
Okay, so speaking of bullshit, I'm gonna expand on that topic. Is there any more points you have on the book?
No, you need to read it. And actually, my daughter, we stuck quotes in her phone because she took up the term bullshit. So that way, if a teacher tells her something that she knows is not true, and she knows that the teacher is just not acknowledging the
isn't your wife her teacher?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she can call it out as bullshit, but she has the definition of bullshit, the official definition of bullshit on her phone. So then she can actually reference, and it comes from this book. So, yeah, if you need a really good short audio listen, there's a good one for you.
You'll enjoy this one. I don't know if you've read this yet or not. People are hiring phone bots to torture telemarketers.
No, I have
not. This is all AI based. So this guy, this system is called Jolly Roger. And when you say Jolly Roger, what do you think of automatically? Jolly Roger. Yeah, it's Captain Hook's pirate ship, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Arg. Yeah. So he's using Chat GPT to program these voices. I looked it up. That there's an app-based thing that I guess whenever you have a telemarketer call, you send it to the app, and it just wastes their time.
That's awesome.
So this is a proper use of AI technology.
Yes, I like this.
In my opinion.
Do you get a recording of the conversation?
I think you have to make. You can either use pre-recorded bots that they've provided, or you can use your own voice or voices of family members until it figures out a vocal algorithm or whatever, and then turns your voice or your relatives' voices into a bot. that just wastes
But
the time of these
then
people.
does it record the conversation so you can go back and reference how well the bot did wasting the telemarketer's time?
There's got to be a way.
Yeah. That's where we're about to get to. So I guess in this app, every call that these things may or receive or pick up, they keep a recording. So you can go back and review it.
That's cool.
So we have stuff like this. Some of these guys are pretty vulgar.
How you doing today?
I'm sorry.
Just checking in with your house.
I just have this huge hangover, and I don't know. It was just one of those nights, you know. It was drugs, alcohol. You know the deal.
This is the
Girls,
bot.
But
No, I don't know the deal.
But can you start over again, please?
Yeah, I'm calling with. We're the heating and cooling company that came out to you not too long ago, back in 2015.
That's nice because we can compare this to the freaking solar salesman that you may not. Do you have to deal with them?
No.
I have to.
Solar people are always coming up. Hey, can you put some solar on your roof? Like, fuck off, dude. I've told you in the past 40 people to get out of here.
Furnace inspection and tune-up for you for $49. And we're just calling the existing customers today. We're running a special for $39 for the inspection and tune-up for your furnace.
He's in the background. He's just taking it in.
You'd like to get scheduled before the end of winter.
Right. Right.
So if you'd like, I can get you on the schedule next week.
Oh my
$39.
God! Oh my God! Really? Jeez, I'm sorry. It's not you, but jeez, come on! Just don't do that, Mandy. Really? I'm sorry. Just my kid is just like doing just stupid. Oh my God, she's so stupid. Honey, just go.
Let's see if I can bump it up to.
I'm sorry. It's just. It's a woman. I mean, men are supposed to hunt for women, right? I mean, she's not property
But
of
not
anyone.
your boss's wife.
Jeez.
If you'd like to take advantage of our $39 special,
This guy's not
get
giving
you on
up.
the schedule next Monday through Friday next week. I'm sorry. I mean, are you following me or?
Right.
I don't understand. Are you following me?
Well, hang on. Is this something that is legitimate?
Okay, so do you have to
Yes,
pay
it's
for
a
this
furnace
app?
Yes, I think it's a fee-based service, but I
recommend
think it's like $29.99 for a year.
So I would be at risk for doing that.
You know how many robocalls I get a day?
Yeah.
I'm probably 6 to 7 a day, if not more. But I think that's great use of the AI technology.
Okay, Jolly Roger.
Jolly Roger.
If anybody gets this and has reviews on it, give us a call.
Yeah, call the
Let us
doc
know.
line.
And we don't have it yet, so we won't put you on with a
No,
robocaller.
we won't. We won't feature you on a robocall. But we could have them come here and record their voice and make them into a bot.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's called the Jolly Roger Telephone Company if you're looking up the specific app.
Okay. That's just amazing, though. So I read ChatGPT, and every time I read it, I'm like, aghast at how adept it is at answering and sounding human.
And only going to get better.
Right. But I hear that.
Yeah.
That takes it to a whole nother level.
That just sounds like some dad that's distracted.
Right.
And it comes
Right.
across very convincingly, in my opinion. We didn't really finish up on your being off social media. Do you feel cleaner?
Oh yeah,
It's
less
like
distracted.
it's like the mental bidet.
Yes, it is. It's not good for me. Some people can probably use it more responsibly, but I'll stay up too late. First of all, I mean, for hours, just scrolling through stuff I don't care about, or argue with people about politics, which is pointless.
But sometimes that childishness is kind of fun.
It can be, but it can also take up a lot of time.
but it's not rewarding, right?
No, and I'm always checking back to see if they responded, so I can get back at them and tell them like how stupid they are.
Yeah,
but why? I don't know.
They don't change their mind.
No, they never do.
You're not going to.
Yeah,
yeah.
But if you were at a dinner party with the same person, that transaction, Is that the word? No. That is not the word. Thank God. I was close.
Wow, I
that
thought you hit it.
transaction would never take place. It would be polite and courtesy and like, oh, you.
Right.
Or it would be a heated debate.
You
but
love
it'd be
the
an engaging.
lockdowns and masking and the tyrannical overreach of government and private corporations. And that was cool with you. Yeah. Oh, I respect your choice.
Yeah, I don't think, but we've been at with engagements where things end up in heated debates, and it's actually very like engaging, heated.
Yeah,
like
it's productive. It's not
productive,
not the two dogs barking on across the fence line.
Right.
Yeah, it gives you something to think about whenever it's like that. But whenever you're on social media, it's either an echo chamber or just a argument that doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good point. But how do you keep up with like current events then?
I don't.
I
haven't been.
Did you know the God Save the Queen thing from Biden?
Yes, but every once in a while, so we have an Alexa show in our kitchen, and so those little stories pop up on there.
Okay.
And every once in a while I see them on there. That's how I knew about Mark Zuckerberg building a Twitter clone kind of deal, and I knew about the God Save the Queen.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Whatever doesn't pop up while I happen to be standing there in the kitchen, I don't really see it.
Damn.
Did you know about the submarines?
I did.
Submarines. The
I
submarine.
did, but that one I heard about from my wife.
Okay.
And she is on social media.
She's definitely very engaged. Well, you see all of Carson's non-dad bod pictures via Terran.
Yeah.
I think she's probably mad because I always comment on one. It's like, she's there in a bikini and then Carson's there in his shorts too. And I'm like, damn, Carson, really? Thanks for making us all look bad.
I think she's just glad that somebody's on there looking.
It's like, okay, so in what realm would social media actually be of benefit?
Well, I think that if used properly, it can be, because I'm into some kind of books that not very many people I know are into, really, really long, epic fantasy type stuff, nerdy stuff like that. And I had some really good friends on Facebook, and I wish that I could still engage with them. Yeah. I mean, I'm talking, a lot of these people were from India.
Oh, wow.
And they read the same books, and they were at least the admins of the page and everything. Yeah. And they're super cool people. We really had the same opinions about the books.
Yeah.
And we would talk about it all the time. And every time I would get off Facebook for a while and then get back on, I would be like, I'm just going to talk to those people. I'm not going to argue politics. And then I would see a comment, and I just can't help myself.
You can't compartmentalize it and just stray. Yeah. You've got to fall right into it.
Yeah. I wish that there was a thing like Goodreads, but that people were more engaged in instead of Facebook.
Yeah.
That was just books or something, you know, then I could use it for. And I mean, I think there were some other things I was kind of into on there that might be useful to answer your question about what could it be good for is, I would see chess in games and just hear people that are way better than me talk about, what happened and why and how that was good.
Yeah.
Some other stuff that I'm into like that that so people I know in real life maybe aren't as into. Yeah. So
in that aspect, you could go back to the classic internet forums.
Right.
That's the best way to do it.
That's what Reddit's supposed to be, but it has devolved into something else entirely.
There was a big push or something to completely dissolve Reddit. Like there was a threat that people were just going to quit using it.
They blacked out for a little while.
So what was that about?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know what
inability to censor.
Means. Yeah,
inability to censor. So Reddit came from 4chan, right? And 4chan got in trouble for some really bad stuff.
Yeah, 4chan's considered like far right wing conspiracy driven stuff, right?
Yeah. But that's what gave birth to Reddit.
No joke.
Yeah,
and then Reddit fell on the opposing spectrum.
Yeah, it's I don't know. You still have. I still consider Reddit a fairly free and open forum. Yeah, I mean, you got whiny tit bags.
I think that the comms have a lot bigger voice on there, or yell a lot louder than the ANCAPs. But there's a lot of anarchist type mind.
Maybe
that
so.
kind of people.
But then there are some tyrannical moderators on there too, because I have been like completely banned from Reddit, kicked off Reddit more than I have anything else. Of course, I'm was a little more vocal and opinionated on Reddit.
Sure,
but
sure.
I got a I got a warning from Instagram the other day regarding a trans post.
Yeah.
And all my things, my
So you're in
comment was
Facebook jail right now, too.
I'm almost done with Facebook jail, just a few more hours. I had a 30-day Facebook jail time because of a Hunter Biden post in his underwear and like crack on the table or something from Halloween last year. It was it was the Ukrainian oil and gas representative Halloween costume.
Yeah.
And it was just like a Hunter Biden in his underwear with some crack pipes and shit laying around. So I've been in jail twice for that. I guess once when I posted it, and the second time 6 months later for I guess not deleting it or taking it down. And then I got my comment completely removed from Instagram for saying trans people are all mentally ill. I couldn't even have that opinion.
I mean, you must have just been looking in a psychiatry textbook from what? Doc, you could probably tell us better, 20, 30 years ago? I mean,
yeah, not even that.
Shame on me. If you want to maim yourself.
We're talking DSM-4.
If you want to butcher yourself, you are not mentally ill. You're okay.
Yeah, and I've not looked at this in DSM-5, but you're right. That's fairly recently you could look at material. Now it's even in the realm of in the medical realm, all of that's being taken away.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of
it goes
pedophiles,
the other way. They go to the psychiatrist and they are supposed to overrule their parents in court, where their parents say they can't do the change, and then the psychiatrist gets in trouble because they side with the parents and say we don't think they're ready to make that decision. I mean, it's
that's
crazy.
where the
world.
boundary has to be a hard line. Like below 18, fuck off. You don't. Mess with my kids.
I get their point though, is that if you're going to do it, it's going to be much more effective to do it before you go through puberty. But there's just, I don't know. I don't think we have enough information. There's a lot of people that, there was a special that Jordan Peterson did, or it might have been somebody else from the Daily Wire app, but I can't remember. But somebody was doing it, and they were just, it was like all these people that did it when they were not adults, and then they regretted it.
Yeah,
later.
I can imagine that's a big chunk of those people.
And literally.
I think a large piece of them, or maybe not so large. That's what's frightening, though, is who else is encouraging that behavior, not just treating it from a mental standpoint.
Yeah. So apparently the pendulum is starting to swing back in other countries, not in this country, of course, but in Great Britain and France. Maybe it's
towards the side of sanity.
Yeah,
that's because they've
being too aggressive with permanent.
That's because it went into straight hysteria about it. Like they just went into straight hysteria. Like if you don't give us this, if you don't let us butcher children, then fuck you. You're a homophobe, a transphobe. What else did they? I mean, it went pure hysterics.
It's really kind of interesting if you ever allow yourself to kind of step back and just view the absurdity of it all.
Yeah,
it's like. We're in a very strange time.
Mm-hmm. We are in a very strange time. And speaking of pedophiles, see what I did?
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Yeah. You kind of put in a little trans
perspective.
Yeah.
Trans what?
Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah.
Trying to finish that
I'm not going to say it. I'm not drinking that shit.
Oh, gosh. You were telling us about this movie from Mel Gibson?
Yes.
Okay.
And nobody knows about it. That's what's crazy, because it's in the movie theaters right now.
Okay, what's it called?
And you haven't seen one advertisement.
No,
I hadn't seen it.
I went to the movies twice in the last week, and I haven't even seen a poster for it.
And what's the sound of the? It's getting pretty bad because now people are coming out. Now this is on Conspiracy Talk, but they're coming out saying movie theaters just randomly refund their money and take their tickets back.
Wow.
And not let people watch it as much.
What?
Yeah.
Then why did they choose to have the movie there in the first place?
I don't know. I don't know how all that works, and like I said, this was on Conspiracy. So
okay,
who knows if these...
So is it a good movie?
I don't know. I haven't watched it yet.
What's the name of it?
Sound of Freedom.
And it's by Mel Gibson.
It is.
And
it's
it has...
got...
Angel Studios. I have that
got
app.
the dude that played Jesus.
Jim Caviezel.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And they're both... But like people are like... So like the president of the UFC, people like him are seeing this.
Yeah.
And getting on their social media pages saying this is... crazy that it's not getting out there more.
Yeah.
Like if you could look up the numbers on, and it's not necessarily about, well, I mean, pedophiles, yes, but it's more about child abduction, selling of the children,
trafficking, human
trafficking.
Yep. And if you look up the numbers,
okay, I should digress. Like maybe
quit worrying
perhaps
about everything else in this world. Taxes aren't so bad.
all trans people perhaps are not pedophiles at some point, but it seems like there is a seedy underbelly that is pedophilia that is involved with that movement.
Yeah, what is that?
The LGBTQIA plus 40.
Yeah, no.
Alphabet
What are
soup.
you pointing at there? I'm curious because I've kind of sensed something like that. You know, like
how would you like me to elaborate? I don't understand.
Right.
That's just what I sense.
Yeah, maybe you don't on air, but it's interesting because I've.
Oh, is he going to get put in jail?
Because what I'm not saying is trans people or LGBTQ plus I3
alphabet
48HFQ. I'm not saying they are pedophiles, but I'm saying like there's some movement there that has also been associated with pushing kind of a premature sexual
agenda.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think it happens in almost every organization where adults have an unnatural power over children. For example, the Hollywood and media type people, because there's supposed to be a lot of that going on.
Well, that's what this is.
I mean, and then also, I mean, the Catholic Church, they give,
everything,
I mean, you're putting your kid in a position with an adult you don't know that well because they're a priest, and in a situation where you would never just leave them alone with a man of that age by themselves.
Right.
But because they're a priest, they trusted them. I think that there's positions of trust and there's power given to people in a lot of these situations, and it's every time it's like somebody takes advantage of it.
And that's what the big thing is with this movie, is that's the reason why it's not getting any push out. You know, nobody's ever heard of it that I've talked to.
Okay, so maybe that's like children forward or family forward. Okay, so here's a theory is maybe the agendas, the worldly agendas are anti-family, and anytime you have degradation in the family, you kind of have a preponderance of evil with regards to kids. Whoa, that's a interesting thought.
And it seems to follow with like people in power.
Yeah.
Elites, power.
Like it's to the point now where they're saying Mel Gibson did not hang himself. They're going ahead and putting it out there.
Hillary's on the warpath.
But it sees here Jim Caviezel slams woke media for hiding this movie.
Oh yeah.
So
okay, let's watch. This is a trailer, but it's almost 4 minutes long. Do we want to go through the whole thing or just?
Sure, it's good.
How many pedophiles you got?
288.
How many kids you found?
Whiskey, please.
And it's inspired by true events, correct?
International crime network that the world has ever seen.
I would imagine
It
so.
has already passed the illegal arms trade, and soon it's going to pass the drug trade. Because you can sell a bag of cocaine one time with a child 5 to 10 times a day. God's children are not for sale.
How long you been doing this?
12 years now.
How many pedophiles you got?
288.
How many kids you found?
Timoteo, tú rescatas niños, ¿verdad? ¿Puedes ayudarme a encontrar mi hermana?
Te lo prometo.
For Homeland Security,
Based on a true story.
Go off rescuing Honduran kids in Colombia.
Which means she'll disappear for good.
Okay, I think we can cut the trailer now. Okay, so basically the takeaway is you need to watch the trailer.
Yeah.
And you probably need to watch the movie.
But I haven't seen any reason other than kids being trafficked. And right now there's no connection with Hollywood or anything yet.
Okay.
No. So I haven't seen any reason to blackball this movie.
But it's Angel
maybe that's
Studios.
how they got people in.
Yeah, this is Angel Studios.
Well, there's still 3 minutes left to the damn trailer.
Yeah, and
okay.
I've watched this 2-3 times, and I haven't seen anything about the Hollywood thing, but I don't know if it's necessarily all just Hollywood. I think it's power in general.
Uh-huh.
The people of power.
I think the filmmakers tend to be on the right wing, okay, and probably they're not getting promotion because of that.
They're already blackballed for that
These
reason.
children is hearing their story. Not enough people know this problem exists, and even fewer people are willing to do anything about it. Our goal is to inspire 2 million people to attend the film's opening weekend, to represent the 2 million trafficked children around the world. To spread the word, Angel Studios set up a Pay It Forward program where you can pay for someone else's ticket who might not otherwise see it. If the ticket price is stopping you from attending, claim your free ticket at angel.com/freedom.
So they're even giving away passes to the
opens
movie.
the week of July 4th.
That's not being promoted.
Every parent, every adult, and every teenager in America should be there to see it. If millions of us come together today to see this film, we could propel the movement to help save millions of children around the world. And you can send the message that God's children are no longer for sale.
Wow.
Well, that's what's the crazy thing. It's been out since July 4th, and today's
I've
the
never
first
heard of
day
it.
any
And
of y'all
we-
have heard
Yeah,
this.
we've not heard of it. That says something.
Yeah.
It's even weirder because I have that Angel Studios. I have the app. They have an app. You can watch a lot of their stuff for free.
Yeah.
On the app, like The Chosen. That's one about Jesus.
Okay.
But there's a lot of other stuff on there. It's and it is usually religious or more conservative.
Angel Studios. All right, I'm gonna have to look that up for sure. But yeah, why isn't this movie getting any traction?
Well, I
See if
think
you
we
can-
all suspect why.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though we can't really say.
But based
it's
on-
not that we don't want to say. It's that there's some seedy thing there that remains unidentified.
Well, let's just say that it could be because there's elites in Hollywood that don't want their supply to dry up.
Yeah,
Okay.
how many years did it take for Harvey Weinstein to get exposed? Long time.
Well,
Yeah.
he was exposing himself all the time.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that happened.
Well,
But-
and we think Hollywood exists on the bedrock of public interest, but that's not actually true. Hollywood exists on the bedrock of corporate
financial interest.
Yes, and if they don't really kowtow or they don't cater to that narrative or that agenda, they stand maybe to risk to lose some big portion of that.
Have you read like the beginnings of Hollywood and it was a big institution for the Jewish community because they were exiled
That's
from everything
interesting.
else, and they. So I wonder if there's some anti-Semitism that exists with people that put this stuff out there and automatically like, oh, that's anti-Semitism because you're speaking negatively in a negative light about a community.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's some dark stuff, man.
Yeah, no joke.
But on the trailer, according to what I heard from Heath over here, I'm expecting to see like the Hollywood sign in the background and a little more focus on like the Hollywood elite. But there's none of that.
No.
So I don't see any reason to like automatically this thing gets blackballed from theaters.
And I think that might have a little something to do with it. Is it doesn't do that, and it is getting so squashed.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to see that now. I wonder if we can stream it.
I think because I don't know.
Theaters only.
I don't know, man.
Oh, look.
There's
up.
like zero stuff out about it.
Check it out this week.
Yeah.
What website do you use to look up movie theater showings now? IMDb.
Google.
Most of
Chat
them.
GPT.
Most of them have their own. Yeah. You could just Google.
Can ChatGPT find movie showings?
No, because
No,
the cutoff
September
is
17th.
2021.
Yeah.
Hey, do you ever mess with ChatGPT and tell him or her all this crazy stuff that's happened since September 2021 and make up complete lies about it?
No,
Because me neither.
I've never used ChatGPT, man. This is the guy to talk to.
Sometimes I make up all kinds of stuff. I'm like, did you know that on this date? And then I say some crazy shit. And then the computer's always like, there was no indications that would happen, but anything could happen. So they're like,
Yeah. So a bunch of them. There's like literally one showing in each movie theater.
Okay. See Showtimes.
Cinemark Roanoke's got 3, and that's the most.
Okay.
Texas Movie Bistro's 1 showing. Lake Worth 1 showing.
I'm looking at AMC Lake Worth right now. I mean, they have one screen, but multiple times. It's out there.
Texas.
Yeah, just one screen at each one, but it's there.
Yeah, this is on the phone. It's just showing one time. That's
okay.
Yeah.
Where the hell is that in Decatur?
I don't think we're.
It's not.
Yeah.
They only have 4 screens, right? So they have to be a little more choosy.
Sometimes Decatur don't show up on those things.
Probably not.
I think you got to go to like its actual website.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at least it's out there. And
Sound of Freedom.
Damn, it's actually got a really high rating on IMDb.
Well, you got to understand the amount of people or the quality of people going and watching this movie.
Yeah, that's true. But I also understand the quality of typical movie critics too.
Yeah.
I'm surprised people that haven't seen it didn't go on there and give it 1 star just to be.
Yeah. This is conspiracy drivel. And man, human trafficking, that's no joke. I see multiple stories on another social media thing. Like lately, our Walmart has popped into the circle of
kidnaps.
Kidnaps. So people are watching people being tracked down aisles and.
Yeah, you don't want to look up the numbers.
Wow.
Because that's what I was saying a while ago. All of a sudden, taxes don't look so bad if you look up the numbers of how many kids disappear.
It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And you know how I feel about that keyword. Yeah, it'll make you want to do something you probably shouldn't do.
Stay armed all the time.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. We can't stay armed, though, because we lost all of our things in a boating accident, unfortunately.
Right. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Lake Bridgeport. Damn.
All my gold, too.
Yeah.
Are they I know there's been proposals to tax I forget how it's done, but like if you have stocks and you've made gains on those stocks but you haven't cashed out, are they now taxing the gains even though you don't have that liquid
not
money?
Yet. Not yet. But and I don't know that was the proposal or if it was the wealth tax, which would tax the whole amount in there, whether there's whether it's an unrealized gain, that's what you're talking about. Where
Yes,
it's gone
unrealized
up,
gains. Thank you.
Whether you're talking about that or the whole thing.
Yeah.
So even if it hasn't gone up, then there was a proposal, or always is a proposal going on for a wealth tax where they would literally tax 0.9% of your total net worth. Period. Yearly, yes. So even if you lose money for 10 years in a row on your investments, you'd still pay. They would only do it to the billionaires. Well, then maybe also the 100 millionaires. Well, maybe also people over 50 million.
Or
and then it just keeps going.
They have 400,000. Well, they're too rich. Those 1%ers. So it's like a Texas property tax, then. What you're saying?
Pretty much. And somebody else arbitrarily decides what the value is, because that's exactly what happens if all of a sudden the stocks go up, but you don't sell it.
Yeah.
You still have to pay more tax because some people think it's worth more money.
So, and in essence, a lot of Californians move in, buy a property on the expensive side, and boom, suddenly we're paying $8,000 a year in property taxes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming $8,000. Y'all probably pay more.
We didn't drive our property values up.
No.
Somebody else did.
I know. And we got to pay for it.
And the valuation is at least 2.5 times what we paid for it, maybe 3.
Wow.
So it's pretty bad.
That's bad. That's perplexing, though, on a stock acquisition and holding standpoint, because you got to think a lot of these people that are into the policy making are heavily invested too.
Oh, I'm sure they have
their loopholes.
Yeah, because they're not 100 millionaires.
Not yet. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why that's the name of the game is finding a way to shift the people above you down and shift yourself up, and that's one way to do it.
Gotcha.
Wow.
It's another technique for hiding cocaine in a White House, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Blame the other guy.
So is anything going to change on that front, the tax front, in the next foreseeable future?
What's another word for change? There's another word like a
yeah, like translocate.
Yeah, translocate.
Yeah.
There's always proposals for increasing. They want to go back to the top rate being 39.6%, but I mean, you never know what's going to pass. And it's always surprising because sometimes they surprise you actually in the positive way.
Yeah.
So
that's very rarely, though.
We,
right?
we were all shocked when every time they raised the gift and estate tax exemption.
Yeah.
We're always shocked because we keep thinking they're going to go back the other way, and they never do.
So what's it up to now? Has it been raised again for 23?
Yeah, it's like 11 or 12 million per person. So for a married couple, if you have $24 million or less, you won't have to pay a gift or estate tax.
That's liquid cash, though.
That's your whole value. So, and there are exceptions. It's highest and best use.
Yeah.
Except for farmland is an exception. So if your kids are going to keep farming the land, but there's a strip mall that really wants to build something there.
Yeah.
And so that would make it worth $10 million, but you want to keep farming it. Well, then you can inherit it as farmland. That's the only exception. Everything else is, whatever it's worth when you die, that's the valuation they decide.
Or when you sell it to a section for that strip mall to come in, now you're subject to the capital gains, I guess, right?
And that's where you have to be careful, because if you change your mind, you didn't get the step up in basis because you chose to take it at the lower value.
Yeah.
And so now you don't have, but if you take it at the stepped up basis, then you don't have to pay capital gains tax on it.
We're going to have to discuss that for my current situation.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, so that's, I didn't know there were 2 tiers for that.
There are. Yeah.
Okay.
But if you weren't over the 24 million, then you wouldn't have taken it at the lower value.
Okay.
In the first place.
So you have to be at that 24 million to decide I'm either going to farm this shit or I'm going to.
Right. You would have inherited at the highest value possible unless you were going to be subject to that gift and estate tax.
Okay. I understand then. Yeah, we're below that threshold.
Or did we just put all your listeners to sleep?
Yeah, I guess
so. This will wake them up though. Global warming news. Climate crisis. California skiers hitting the slopes this 4th of July due to a rare snowy summer condition. So there you have
July 3rd, they're skiing?
They're skiing in California.
That's awesome. Wow. I want to go skiing in July.
Yeah, I would love to.
I love global warming.
But I thought we weren't ever going to have snow again, and that we weren't going to be able to ski. And
not in California.
Well, it's because Doc bought a Tesla. So now
that's what
there's
it was.
snow in California.
We are actually changing the globe.
You have solved the climate crisis.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Single-handedly. You didn't know that was going to happen, but you did. You bought a Tesla. Californians are skiing in July.
Yep, I did it for the earth.
Maybe they'll stay there now that they have snow.
or maybe they move here and I move there because I can ski in July.
Yeah, let their property values tank, and then we'll all go. You'll have a bunch of rednecks with oceanfront property.
Jeez. Okay, so the question is, would you go into your California right now for the sake of skiing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
For
Texas
a weekend?
sucks that much.
For a weekend.
Oh, dude, yeah. If we're talking about like seasonal shit, I'll be in California all day long, baby.
And that's Northern California. I think there's still some people with rational brains in the northern part of that state.
I believe so. Yeah, Mammoth Mountain is around the Tahoe area.
And they're also the top city for
I know there are cool
human trafficking.
There are cool people
Los
in
Angeles?
California.
California.
There's cool people even in Oregon and Washington.
Yeah,
Washington. But we tend
fake
to
snowmakers.
We tend to kind of lump them all together and say they're kind of shit people.
Yeah, liberals are way louder.
Yeah,
we only hear the people from Seattle and Portland,
right?
On the holiday devoted to red, white, and blue.
I mean, that is awesome, man.
A rare chance to shred the white.
You're skiing on the 4th of July?
Yeah.
How wild is this?
So sick. So sick.
Many repping their best stars and stripes.
I mean, it look cool. I like to go down the slopes with
Others
them.
simply in summer's finest.
I've never skied in the summer, and I've never skied in a bikini.
Against the odds, this 4th of July weekend, the slopes of Northern California's majestic Mammoth Mountain remain primed for an estimated 10,000 patriotic runs. The snowy summer conditions, remnants of a relentless winter, swelling the Golden State's rivers and streams,
Democrat
and
vote.
added.
Democrat vote. Democrat vote.
Yeah, that's incredible. I don't know where else you get that. Maybe British Columbia on a rare summer.
Yeah.
Summer.
Or you can go to the Southern Hemisphere and ski in July.
It's technically their winter though.
I mean, what did Mark Twain say? The coldest summer day was the coldest day of the year was a summer day in California or in San Francisco. Like we did go to San Francisco one summer and it was cold as balls there.
In summertime.
Yeah.
Interesting. Never been to San Francisco. Heard the people there are assholes.
I mean, they weren't when I was there, but apparently it's changed.
Oh.
Well, that's just because you like to poop in the street.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're one of them. You drive a Tesla.
Well, there's that.
So they're automatically going to go,
yeah, that's true.
One of us. He saved the climate. We have snow in July.
When I poke fun at the Tesla, it's out of jealousy. I actually want one. So
they are. Have you ridden in one yet?
No,
we might have to take you down the road.
Yeah,
we will.
We got to take Carson down the road.
Yeah, I want one. They don't make one big enough for my giant family yet, but whenever one of my kids is old enough to drive, then maybe I can get one.
Doesn't the Model Y have a third row?
It does.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's just not very big.
Model X.
But I couldn't even go from the Expedition Max to the regular Expedition. We got a lot of stuff.
So you're at the Expedition Max.
Oh yeah, biggest one they got. Yeah.
But I will say the only reason I justified a Tesla was on our commute. So it was economically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like whenever I think about your situation, you're mostly working from home, right? You're not racking up like a bunch of daily like miles. I'm not sure an electric vehicle or a slightly expensive electric vehicle like pays for itself economically.
Oh, no, it would not. No,
not that the
not.
driving experience isn't totally like badass. Because
I would just want it because it's cool.
Yeah.
Definitely wouldn't save me any money.
I don't think we can look at any modern vehicle unless you're buying like a Civic or a Camry. I don't even know. Do they make Camrys?
Which are great vehicles.
Yeah, I don't think you can look
Honda
at
Civics.
Any modern vehicle as an economic windfall for yourself because it's just not realistic anymore. They're just insane.
Right. You can still get a Yaris for like 19 grand brand new.
What is a Yaris?
Toyota.
It's like a fart on wheels.
it's Toyota's fart on wheels.
It's
is
tiny.
It cooler or less cool than a Prius?
No, it's less cool.
Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, it's tiny.
The new Prius is kind of neato looking.
But we did drive from Lubbock to Ruidoso in one with 4 people about my size, except 3 people my size and 1 Terran.
That's a tight fit.
And we all had our bags and our ski stuff too. It was a squeeze. That's for we had stuff on top of that thing. Oh yeah,
we got a break.
Okay,
something just happened on here. Not really. Don't pause it.
Oh,
what
did the word Neato just come across the air on the Whiskey Road podcast?
Yes.
Did we say
Neato?
Who said that?
Neato. I'm throwing it back to the 90s here, brah.
Neato.
Okay.
It's Neato Bandito.
I haven't heard
like
that.
it.
Neato.
Yeah, but the new Prius is pretty neato looking. And I like it. I like it a lot. So yeah, you just had a road trip in your Tesla.
Oh yeah, first road trip in the Telsa.
How many miles?
Yeah, so it was Houston and back. I don't actually know how many miles. I think it was like 310 miles one way.
Okay.
So it was the first trip where I had to sit down and say, okay, we're actually charging on the road.
Yeah. What is if you're starting at 100%, what's your capacity? Miles wise?
310.
Okay, so you're right at capacity from here to Houston.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to have you stop because there are some things you have to take into account. Like
you're running air conditioner full blast.
Yeah, and then if you're a little hot on the pedal, like my wife is, okay, then that's going to use extra
hold
power.
on, you're we've all ridden with Doc.
Yeah, I know, right? That's not me, but on her, I actually put her in chill mode. Meaning, like she can't just like gun the car, just can't.
Did she know?
Yeah.
Did she know you censored her?
No,
man.
Yeah, I told her at the end of the trip.
She does know now. But
yeah, as we pulled back in, I took her out of chill mode and was like, "Okay, I actually put you in chill mode." So
I can imagine. Did you get any commentary like, "Why does this car suck? This thing's gutless. It has no power."
No, she still put it to the test.
Okay.
Yeah, but just not like she could have, right? But it's kind of weird pulling into a charging station because. I don't know. It's different than a gas station because
do they have convenience stores there?
So the one in Waco was actually really nice. It had a like full-fledged, really nice bakery.
Okay.
Yeah, we've pulled into. I didn't think it was weird.
Yeah, it's
me and Chance pulled in one in a big old giant 4-door dually freaking Cummins diesel.
Yeah, we parked in the Tesla spot to take do a photo op. Well, he was there with us.
Right.
Oh yeah, he was
there with us.
Well, there's a weird air about those things, and it's like the same air you get like whenever you go into the bathroom stall to shit, you know, and it's like you're there in public, but you're trying to maintain some modicum of privacy.
Not at Buc-ee's because they got enclosed toilets.
Yeah, right.
Buc-ee's needs charging
that
stations.
not charging stalls, not enclosed
they're
charging stalls.
Yeah.
So you get it there and you back in. You're right beside a guy. You're right beside another guy, and you're trying to mind your own business and all this stuff. You really just want to check his car out, right? because everybody who has a Tesla is kind of into Teslas.
Yeah, but they all kind of look the same.
They are.
Okay.
They are.
But okay, let me ask this. So if you get it down to, let's say, because we usually don't run down to E before we refill on a road trip. So you're at like 20 to 25%.
Yeah.
You stop to charge.
That's
How long
pushing
does it take to get it back to 100?
It's okay. That's a really good question. So you got 2 levels of chargers, and you have kind of regular standard charger, and then you have like supercharger.
I've heard of those. Yeah.
Yeah. So 150 kilowatt versus 250 kilowatt. So the 250 kilowatt, and it gets a little more complicated because the lower your car is, the more it's going to suck up all that juice. So it's going to suck it up at a higher rate.
Oh, the batteries, they charge faster at first. Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly. So you can pull into a 250 kilowatt charger and hook it up, and in 10 minutes you're up in 60, 70, 80%. So really fast. But you're going to pay more, slightly more. And so on the fill up going down to Houston, I think both directions actually.
Yeah.
I paid $12.
Oh, that's nice.
But if they had a Tesla specific charging station, you charge for free, right? Or is that
No,
it's
not that maybe some people have packages that they've,
I think that was a limited time deal to really promote Tesla. He offered the free supercharging for X amount of time, and I think that's done.
Tell them about the idle thing.
Yeah, $12 going down, $12 coming back. So $24. It would have cost us $120, $120 to $130
in gas.
Gas.
Nice.
Tell them about the idle charge.
Yeah. So at the supercharger, so you don't just pull into a supercharger, plug your car in, go into the bakery, like sit down. Whenever your car charges to capacity, it incurs an idle charge. So you can't just leave it there.
Oh, yeah.
Until you get done.
So you're getting charged if you're out wasting time while your car's plugged in.
Right.
Yes.
So it's
exactly.
It's a push to get you the hell out of there so somebody
out,
else can come in and charge. That's kind of
cool.
Kind of a brilliant move.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about all the places that have electric chargers now, like the Tanger outlets or at the movie theater in Roanoke? Are those free?
No.
Oh, see,
but
I always
it's a
thought people are
different
just like,
network.
they're going to go watch a movie and they're just like, oh, I'll just stop here and watch a movie.
Think of
and
your
and
Tesla.
fill up for free.
though.
Yeah, think of your Tesla as Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So it's already got your credit card information on your car. So when you pull up into there,
plug it in.
ching,
It
starts.
identifies your car.
Yeah,
it
that's
knows who
cool.
you are, where you're at.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's cool.
It is until a certain person starts and makes the device where he can just pull right up beside your Tesla, drive down the
hacks
road,
it
and
and
go.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm sure it's already out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And now this makes sense why when the truck came out, the semi, why they always use the example that you start at 100%, you can go 500 miles, and then you stop and fill back up to 80%. I was like, why are they always using 80%? He has to be there an hour. Why doesn't he just stay an hour and 20 minutes? And that's why, because you get such diminishing returns. You can get to 80% pretty quick, and then to get all the way to 100, it's going to take forever.
Yeah.
So you'd be best to stop and do short charges.
That's what I was thinking. Small increments is the way to go. So I watched this YouTube channel called the Fast Lane, and they recently did a trip from Los Angeles to Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty popular kind of route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but then on the trip back, they went up through Nebraska, down across the Rockies. They made a longer trek back. But Tesla has a really great user interface and a really great setup to where you're using their navigation.
Yeah.
And when you plug in your destination, it highlights all the stops you need to make to get to your destination.
Now, the navigation sort of sucks.
Does it?
Yeah, because I was going to say, well, that's great until it's not up to date, and you pull up to Homeboys, and you're like, oh, no, I can make this, and you come here, and it's closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the navigation itself.
Or the chargers broke down.
Oh, that's
Even on this,
I'm really curious for you to elaborate on this because I was impressed with what I saw.
Yeah, even on this trip, we resorted twice to Google Maps in order to get the direction we were going.
Okay, for your destination purpose, it sucks.
Yes.
Now, for finding the superchargers, you need to maintain.
I would say
it's
on par with Apple Maps.
I sometimes pick Apple over Google.
Yeah, but in general, and this is my opinion, right? Although I consider it fairly well tested. In general, Google Maps is going to be more right most of the time.
It's a little more user saturated.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have that. And then where were we? Oh, yeah. It's like maybe every 200 miles you should stop for 10 minutes just to add some charge on.
Yeah.
And you're going to keep like that battery you can go for forever.
So that was the route that was provided during this YouTube episode is like, okay, you're not going 300 miles at a time in between stops. You're stopping maybe every 120 or so, topping that battery off, getting back. I mean, you're spending 10 to 15 minutes at a charger versus charging from 5% to 100 or 80, whatever, and you're spending 45
and you're
minutes.
You're going to be charged $8 every charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not really that big a deal. If you run out of electricity and you're on the side of the road, you call AAA.
He brings a diesel.
Julio shows up in the F-350 pulling the diesel-powered generator, plugs it in.
You pay $300.
Cranks you back up and you're on your way.
Yeah. Don't run out.
No big deal at all.
There's some anxiety, and that's like the Tesla anxiety is it's this fear that you're going to be stranded on the side of the road without any battery.
We're still in a pioneering era.
Yes, we are.
For the electric, though. So in another 10 years.
It's not for everybody.
No, and the Tesla, I just read the Tesla plug is actually probably going to be the universally adopted standard receptacle because Ford's using it now.
Yeah.
GM just picked up and said, we're going to use it. There's another electric maker that's like, maybe Rivian that's saying, okay, fuck it. We're going to just use the Tesla.
Go for Tesla.
So as soon as things are standardized to a universal receptacle,
they'll show up everywhere.
It's going to be everywhere. Yeah. Every place is going to have them. And everybody will know expectations, I think, a little better too.
And so like coming back, we knew we were going to go into the bakery. We knew we were going to have lunch, so I just pulled into
you keep saying the bakery. Are you trying to say
check stop?
Check stop. Okay.
No, it's actually not. It's someplace in Waco,
and that's what it's called. The bakery, or
it's Collins Street Bakery. That's what it was. Okay. Collins Street Bakery. Looked for our Greek place, couldn't find it.
Couldn't find it.
I think it's closed down. Yeah. But I knew we were going to stop in, have lunch, so we pulled into the slow charger and just parked it, and 30 minutes.
Do you pay less of a fee when you're at a slow charger?
Less of a fee, and you don't like get idle. You
don't get penalized for sitting there.
Exactly.
I wish they could implement that charge at fuel pumps.
Let me ask you,
awesome. Everybody said it's a fuel pump, fills up, and then they cut their car off, and then they go in and shop and do whatever.
Right.
And everybody's waiting.
Right. QT's like the worst.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, they're bad there. So if you lived a block behind said gas station with a low charger, could you just make that your garage? Since you don't get idle?
I mean, you could, but you have to pay for it.
Why?
I mean,
you just said you didn't get idle charge.
But then you have a guilty conscience.
Yeah, but you pay for the power.
Right? Because it's going to continue to as it drops.
It was still a $10 charge. And at my house, it's like $2 to $3 a charge, I think. So it's a lot cheaper.
Did you install a bigger plug for out there?
Thought I was going to need it. I ordered it. Tesla got there before the wall charger. So I plugged it into my RV plug. Mm-hmm. And over the course of like 2 nights till the wall charger actually showed up, I was like, oh, this is great.
But have you researched, is that damaging your battery more or less? Or
no, it's actually probably preserving it a little more because it's charging it at a more conservative 32
current
amps compared to a 48 amp.
Well, and then there's an onboard system on your car that controls the amperage that comes into your battery anyway. So
Right. So we sent it back.
Nice.
It's like if you have an RV plug, just use that.
Well, pretty soon, Tesla superchargers are going to be asking you for a tip. The way the world's going.
Yeah, no joke. Like tips are going out of
it's getting ridiculous. It's getting insane. It is getting bad. And we've talked about it before on here a few times, but I feel like it's gotten even worse since then.
Yeah, and then there's
always
a crunch.
a no button on there. So
but the problem is you have to get through like 2 screens to get to the no button.
And it's awkward.
Yeah, it is awkward because there's always somebody standing there over you.
That's the lucky thing about me, I don't give a shit about
and that's where I'm starting to not, because y'all know I'm kind of a Dave Ramsey fan, and he was talking about that he's always like, tip your waiter, over tip him, tip your valet, over tip him, tip the pizza delivery guy, over tip him. And he's like, oh, fast food places? No. He's like, I look them dead in the eye while I press 0.
Yep.
Like no shame about it.
Counter
So now I feel a little bit better. But it's still awkward because I was hearing this story that somebody went to Jimmy John's and they are asking for a tip there. And they said no. And he said he literally saw the girl mouth to the guy, no tip. And then it took forever. And it's Jimmy John's, right? It's freaky fast. It's supposed to take like 30 seconds. And then he sat there for 15, 20 minutes. And he's like, but I already paid. So he's like, I can go throw a big fit about it. But I mean, I'm pretty sure it's because I didn't tip. There was no one else in there. So.
Why? That's and what it is these paying services, the tip side of that has become ubiquitous. So
because used to, I mean, now it's just it gives you the options, and that's what he's talking about. Is
I know
the no tip. Like, you have to push the next page to get to where it says no tip.
Yeah, or you go. You want to tip 20%, 20. It's getting up to like 35%.
Yeah,
and then you've got to go other tip, and then you have to enter in 0. But then there's douchebags like this that make it even worse.
Hi.
Hello.
Come here, Max.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I just want to say it's a nice house for a $5 tip.
Oh shit!
You're welcome.
Douche.
Did you hear him?
Yeah.
Fuck you. So that was a 20. If you read the
if this
the
was
details, that's real because it's
on.
Okay, well, it's as real as you can think of. It's real. I don't know. But anyways, Mr. TikTok down there, it was a $25 pizza.
Yeah.
So he tipped 25%. Right? Is that am I right?
20%.
20%. Okay, 20%. So he tipped 20%.
That's the only reason why we asked you to come on tonight, because he had that plan.
Just to check our numbers
this whole night.
So she still tipped 25 or 20% and got a nice big fuck you in the end.
Yeah.
So that's another reason.
That does bring up a question though. When you're in a situation where you actually are supposed to tip, not the fast food,
the pizza
person or
dude,
the
you're
Starbucks
supposed
person,
to tip.
But when you are okay, do you have a floor, or do you always just do a percentage? Because like, let's say we go somewhere to eat and it's a diner and it's super cheap. I'm not tipping like $2.18 if that's what 20% is. You know what I mean? I'm going to give them like $5, which I know.
True.
And now they're getting like 40%. But I mean, I just feel like if they spent the same amount of time waiting on me as if I had been at Del Frisco's, so I don't feel like they deserve to get $2, you know?
I've never tipped percentage.
It's always a straight amount?
A straight amount, yeah.
It's how I feel that I got served.
So if you go and have a $300 dinner, you don't necessarily tip more, a higher percentage?
Nope.
Like at Papa's?
Now, I will tip more at Papa's because usually the service there is goddamn amazing.
Yeah.
But it's not, I don't ever get my calculator going and go, okay, $300, what's the percentage of that?
And you're going in ahead of time knowing you have to make like it's going to be a bigger tip because this is a luxury service you're getting.
I'm bad about it. I mean, 20% means they did a fine job. If they do above and beyond, I go above that. And really, like, my middle finger to people, and they probably don't even know they're getting one, is a 15% tip. If they suck and they're rude, I still leave. I know I shouldn't, but
what a
I
nice guy.
I can't help it. And I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I'm afraid that it's going to come back and haunt me somehow. So I'm just like, fuck, it's just worth it. I'm just here. Take the money. Leave me alone.
Yeah. But strip mall, coffee shop, you know.
Yeah, Subway.
I've stopped, but this is very recently in the last few weeks. Up until for years, I was even at Starbucks. I'm giving them $2 on the little machine, and I got a $4 coffee, and then I'm like, I don't want to hit one, so I was hitting two.
So you're tipping 50%.
I'm like, I'm tipping
$15 for coffee.
And now I'm getting a bad coffee that's not good to begin with, but I'm desperate for caffeine, and instead of $4, it's $6. It's so stupid. I know.
Supporting
I've stopped.
corporate nepotism.
I've stopped.
Yeah, Subway's getting bad about it because they'll tell you before you pay, oh, hey, whoa, it's fixing to ask you something. And that's when the tip thing.
Do they really?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't been to Subway in that long. I know
that's a place where you could earn a little extra tip if you know, because they might charge you for the double meat. But what if you don't order double meat and they give you double meat anyway
with the meat on?
Then maybe they get that money instead of Subway, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know,
but there's even proclamations of some workers that say we don't even get the tips that the machine is asking for.
Really?
Corporate gets that.
Oh, that's stupid.
We don't even get that.
Why would Subway get a tip? Not the worker.
Well, because Subway has a system that's going into the system. It's no longer are we in the day where the tip jars get emptied out and that gets divvied out.
That's actually true. Because when my wife was working somewhere, whenever they tipped on the card, they still cashed it out. Like they literally at the end of the night, they would keep their cash tips, and then whatever their credit card tips were, they would actually take it out of the register, and that had two perks. For one, it doesn't show up on your W-2 that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't know what you mean.
Which is nice.
But then you got these places that do tip sharing now.
Or they just share an equal amount.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody
been
gets
doing it a
tip
long
money.
time.
Straight out of the Marxist Manifesto.
I'm not working in a communist wait staff
Communist
place.
Manifesto. I'm sorry. I keep
dishwasher
insulting
gets
Karl
part of
Marx.
it that way.
Yep.
But they tip them out, and then and it's the same. If you take out the communism side of it and you just let them tip out, then it encourages the busboys to do a good job and encourages the bartenders to do a good job.
Everybody does a
because
good
then
job,
they get tipped out from the wait staff.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then they'll do a crappy job and for that waiter. So
I remember I bussed tables once just to help a friend out. They were closing down their restaurant, and the waitresses, just bussing tables, offered to give me a share of their tips because I'm making their job easier too. It was tough work. Bussing tables is it was legit.
Yeah, it's a good place to start. That and dishwashing.
Yeah, you earn
Good
a
place to
pretty
start.
good respect for work.
Yeah,
and that.
exactly.
But
and that's coming from someone that did farm work growing up. So.
yeah, bussing tables was not easy. I think things are maybe changing. I think a European model, there's no tipping. I've never been to Europe.
Wow.
Well, so last time we were there, it was years ago.
Didn't you just come back from Ireland?
No, we're going.
You're headed to Ireland.
Yeah.
Okay.
July
all right.
14th through 20.
Yeah, remember that's why you
say
can't go to Papa
July?
Rose.
Yeah, that's right.
July.
July.
But, so when we were there, it depends on like in France, I don't think that they tip at all.
Yeah.
Other places they say you're not supposed to tip 20%. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like maybe a couple of euros or whatever.
Right.
But because they all get paid a living wage.
Better wage. So that's what's happening now. Has anybody in here watched South Park?
No.
Okay. There's an episode on there about Casa Bonita, and it was like in Colorado, it's their version of like ponchos here. And I guess after it was a big fun episode, and then after that, I guess the restaurant fell onto hard times. Well, the writers and the creators of South Park, I can always get them Matt Stone, Trey Parker. I think that's right.
I think that's right.
I always get their last names mixed up. They bought Casa Bonita, completely remodeled it, and their new thing is no tips. They pay their staff $30 an hour.
Wow,
that's insane. But that place is probably making bank because it is like the Rainforest Cafe. Mm-hmm. It's I guess a destination type restaurant where it feels adventurous and ambiance and stuff like that. Like there's cliff divers and everything at Casa Bonita, caverns. It's all kind of crazy fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, that's the new model for them. No tips. We pay our staff well.
I would go to a restaurant like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just to go.
Sorry, buddy. Karl Marx is rolling over in his grave.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's not. Maybe it's the model. Joe Rogan. Don't get your hopes up, listeners. We have not been invited yet, but we were just talking about this the other day, and I thought it was funny. Like, what would we have to discuss? What would we do if we were on Joe Rogan?
I told you what I'd do.
You'd slap him.
I'd just walk right up to him and slap him right in the face.
Why? So you could whip the shit out of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Because nobody's ever walked onto Joe Rogan's show and
ever
slapped
done
him
that,
before.
and it would never go away. We would always be the group of dudes that walked up and Savage Bro just slapped Joe Rogan.
I would
How fast do you think he would choke you out?
Oh, immediately.
I don't know, man.
But I would do it. It would be worth it.
I think there's a shock value there. Like he's got to process what just happened. Surely it wouldn't be that quick.
Yeah, because he's weirded out. So I mean, I'd have to be quick because you don't like. That's the whole reason behind his bigger table, everything.
Is it?
Oh yeah. So when he first came to Texas, he had a smaller table.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's the one that run all that for him. He said because Mike Tyson was getting ready for that big fight that he just did not too long ago.
Yeah.
Coming back out of retirement, and he's like Mike Tyson when he gets in that zone.
He gets a little intimidating.
It's freaky.
Yeah.
And he says, I had a smaller table, and Mike Tyson's the one that I got rid of it. So now he has that bigger table because of that reason. He said that was just Mike Tyson, and the way he was just right there in my face. And he says, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, they'll do it for me too.
Yeah. I think anybody would be scared of that situation.
I don't think I could do it. I have such respect for that dude.
Joe Rogan or Mike Tyson?
Joe Rogan.
Well, did Mike Tyson punch somebody out on an airplane?
Oh God, who knows?
Probably. He's punched so many people out.
I mean,
but it was somebody antagonizing him because he was Mike Tyson. He's finally just like, okay, I'm Mike Tyson.
Boom.
Yeah, who knows? That guy's nuts.
He's like, this is going to cost me $10 million.
Yep.
Worth it.
I'd give him the free prostate exam.
Okay, well then I would follow up your slap and your prostate exam with a really nice bottle of whiskey. So hopefully it's like the ultimate trifecta.
Yeah, but
No,
us
the whiskey
giving him
should
a
come
really,
first.
us giving him a really nice bottle of whiskey, he'd probably be like, nah. That's
Now,
Joe Rogan.
I would definitely try to pitch him. I'd be like,
Oh, yeah, for
hey,
sure.
I can guarantee no state income tax on that $100 million, and just see what he says. You know, maybe he would think it's funny. Like, I don't know.
Maybe he thinks we got one. I don't know. He came from California.
Yeah, maybe so.
California.
But he probably does actually have one, or at least a gross receipts
think
tax.
so?
Yeah, because if you make over 1.1 million, you pay Texas franchise tax.
That's true.
Oh, that's
But
definitely
we do have an income tax only for really rich people.
Yeah, but it's a small, very small percent. Like,
but it's on the revenue, not on your net income.
Right.
So it can be pretty damn big.
Okay.
Whenever you don't get to deduct anything against it.
I don't have that issue of making $1.1 million
I don't
yet.
think, yeah, we're not there.
That's because we don't have a club volleyball.
Yeah. How much money have you spent there the last few years?
Dude, I did some math today.
Yeah.
One club season from the ages of like 13 to 18.
Yeah.
They making like 1.4.
God. But of course they've got to buy uniforms
that's not
and
total.
stuff,
That's not total
There's
income.
usage
It's
fees.
just that's what they're gathering.
That's a gross.
But
Yeah.
that is one club season. That's not their camps. That's not their private lessons. That's not anything else.
Which where do y'all go?
I'm not saying that on air,
Oh.
sir. I just throughout the.
That's an
I'll tell
off-air
you afterwards.
conversation.
But they're banking. They're banking on middle class like kids. Yeah. I
So
would
that,
too.
That average,
I would too.
That and
Yeah.
okay, now that's
a lot of money
that's
in the volleyball.
That's the low average. Yeah. I kind of cut it in the middle because depending on how old your kids are, depending on what class of club level you get into, it starts out low. And then if you're like the number one of number ones, you're paying more. So I just kind
you
of
get punished for being good if your kid's better, then you're in a more expensive group. Yeah.
And I kind of just averaged it. So I mean, they're technically bringing in more than that. It's just
they're learning the way of the world. Like if you're a hard worker, then you get expected to work more.
See, back in the day, it was only select baseball. You know, and like those kids were.
Yeah, you knew who those kids were.
Yeah. But now every sport has a select or club level.
Yeah,
everything does. I think.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The one that my daughter does, and she's in her second season with them. She's 8, and we go up there on like a Saturday, and they have their practice at 8:30, and then the first game starts at 9, and then they just have games on 4 courts from 9 until like 9 p.m. probably.
Mm-hmm.
And every single one of those teams, the amount they paid, I should have done the math. I should have like built a spreadsheet to just calculate it.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. And I wouldn't even know the right numbers because like Keith was saying, and we're probably paying the least because she's 7 or 8 years old when she's doing it and she's in the entry level league. I know that those high level leagues are probably, and then over on the side, there's an extra space in addition to the 4 courts where they're doing private lessons. And these are girls that are high school and they're already badass looking at volleyball. So I'm guessing their parents are paying a crap ton of money for them to be in there doing that. So it's just, I can't even imagine how much money they're making. And it's like just like a metal building. What is it? What do you think it is? Like 100 by 50 or something metal building?
The one we're at, it's got 5, 6 courts in it. It's got its own little gym. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
The one we do is smaller than that, and they're packed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's only 4 courts, and I would say that the other space they have maybe would be room for a 5th court, including the entryway and everything. So, I mean, it's not, but then there's so many people in there.
So we need to build a facility.
Yeah.
Well, especially here, because if you build it big enough and let all sports come into it, it will never be shut down.
Yeah, all year round.
That's true.
I
The
mean,
one
never.
there in Rome area, or on the way to Rome, I guess. I don't even know what little town it's in. And it's like, it's bringing people from Denton, Decatur,
Oh, yeah.
Bridgeport,
Everywhere.
Paradise, like all over. And I mean, they would be going here if they could, because
Yeah.
this is a little out of the way, nowhere kind of place. So,
Yep. And the top pay for club at said deal is $5,750 per kid.
Per kid.
Wow.
That's not for a full year. That's just for the particular season.
It's one club season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you could get that money back if your kid gets a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I bet a lot of parents think that.
Right?
Yeah.
For me, it would just be that those kind of things I did as a kid were the most fun things. Like, and then
Right.
you turn into an adult and it's just, I mean, I love my life. It's just not near as fun as when you're a
Right.
kid. And so if they're enjoying that, then it's worth it. I'm just going to fork over all the money so they can do it.
But to me, it's sad too because there's probably a lot of kids out there that don't have, parents that have that kind of disposable
no.
income, and they're probably and they're not probably. There's undoubtedly kids out there that are just as athletically inclined, just as talented, just as hard working, just everything, but they won't have that level of exposure because of the way the system is now.
We could have never afforded it. We could barely afford like league baseball. There was no select anything.
Yeah, right.
We could have never afforded it. We had 4 kids, and to pay for 4 people to just sign up for like whatever the league sport was at the time, whatever season it was.
Yeah.
And it was, even that was like maybe $75 a kid, plus if you had to get new cleats because you outgrew the last pair.
Yeah.
And I mean, that we could barely afford it. So,
But what's in my opinion, what club volleyball is doing is it's taking away your kids like that they can try out for school ball.
Yeah.
Maybe make the team. Maybe the coach is decent and not just some Joe Blow that they threw over into there.
Yeah.
And then maybe become a awesome volleyball player and get noticed by college. But what club's doing now is if you don't play club volleyball, you're probably not getting seen.
You don't get looked at. Yeah. That was all.
Oh, I thought they played it when it wasn't volleyball season. I thought they still played like high school.
But most of the girls in volleyball that are getting college opportunity, club.
That shit was
They don't
going
play
on
any high school.
back when I was.
No,
in
they
high school.
do.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's so if you're in club volleyball, there's no reason not to play school volleyball because it's just extra.
They schedule around it, is what I'm
Yes.
saying. Okay, you're
Yeah.
not going to like
It's
lose your
just
spot on the select team.
Your recruiters and stuff, they'll show up to nationals for club volleyball because all around, especially Texas. So Texas is huge. So nationals comes along. That's one of the biggest goddamn things. I mean, there's thousands of top-notch teams, girls, all in one location.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
makes sense.
See, in school, football was a school endorsed activity.
Right.
And it still is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would say, I don't know if there's a big
there isn't
select
for
or
football.
club.
Not that I know
But
of.
as far as long ago as 2002, the same shit was going on with basketball and baseball. I remember sitting
There still is on that.
on the tryouts for it was to make the A or B team for basketball. And I remember this was the day for tryouts, okay?
Yeah.
I remember the coach walking in. This coach was a fucking dickbag, a douchebag extraordinaire to begin with.
I'm guessing he didn't make the team.
Let me tell you how I really feel. No, this douchebag walks in and he picks you. I'm not saying names, but I remember who they are. A team, come with me. Before we even left the bleachers and got on the court. It was
because he already knew them from
He
select
already knew
teams.
them, from select. Exactly. And that's the way it is now. If you're not in a club,
that's bullshit.
You're probably well.
That's
so
that.
It is and it's not.
See, the
but
commies coming out
The
in
quality, the quality of
public school
of said players that are in club, kick the living shite out of girls that don't play.
Maybe so, but it's a public school system.
It is now. So ours, as far as I know, don't do that.
Yeah.
But it's already here.
Well, okay.
Oh, definitely.
I'm with Chance on this. He should have at least given everyone the tryout.
And then just
if they were
faked
better
it.
because they were in select, then fine. But if somehow there's an anomaly and somebody's just so naturally gifted, and then the league that they play once a year was enough to make them awesome, and then you're better, then like why would you not want the best person on the team?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, but like he could have just faked the whole thing. Like, oh well, you did great in tryouts today, even though I've already made up my head.
Yes.
He should have at least
had to
gone
come
through the
in
motions.
and put in a dog and pony show on, and automatically, put these people on a pedestal.
And it's not just in school. Most of your clubs are the same way. Like so when we start, they already pretty much have their top 4 or 5 girls or players.
So is this akin to saying that people who have money create better opportunities for their kids?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
It's 1,000%.
Unfortunately, but yes.
Yeah. I got you.
I mean, yeah.
And then you got people like me that don't have the money
And yet,
I'm scrounging
but you're finding the money to
I sell myself
equal things out. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, okay, but there is that. But then there's also this phenomenon that my brother-in-law talk about all the time. That it seems like kids that are coming from places with no money are doing better in sports, and maybe that changes later after all the rich kids have had chance to have private lessons and all this stuff. But I'm wondering if it's because all these spoiled rich kids sit around on their iPads all day, and these other kids are like
they get
getting
kicked
sent
out of the
outside,
house.
and they just go, like, for example, kick a soccer ball into a goal for 4 hours a day after school every day, and that's all they do. And I don't know, because like my daughter's not out there shooting baskets. Like, I wish she was. I'm trying to get her to, you know, and we have to make her sometimes, and so I don't know. But there's kids that they live for it, and it's not usually the spoiled rich kids, so they might have some more opportunities, but they also don't have. There's some kind of grit to those kids that are coming from, less money.
Yeah, but the problem is they've got to have an equal opportunity to be noticed.
For
what.
And they don't always have those opportunities. Yeah.
Most of those kids got work ethic. That's what
absolutely.
And I've seen it over and over again. I mean, we've been in a lot of club volleyball, and my daughter's one of them. She's not. I mean, I tell her this. She knows. She'll tell you the same thing. She's not the best of the best. She's not. But by God, ain't nobody outworking that chick.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I tell her, I was like, that's what they're looking for. They can teach you how to be the best spiker or be the best hitter or be the best this. I said, they can't teach go. They can't teach not just sitting around and doing nothing and
yeah.
I said that's you.
Yeah.
I said if you show them that, more than likely you're probably going to make a team, and it's worked out. But
you've given her the opportunity of being seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
For a lot of money.
Yeah.
For a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But so now where I'm at, speaking of being poor.
Yeah.
So we're getting to the point now, because each year she gets older, the price goes up.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So now I'm getting
closer to college, baby.
Oh, yeah. So now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I feel like a piece of shit dad, because I don't know if we can keep affording it.
Fundraise. Make her fundraise.
Yeah.
Is she old enough to work?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Well, according to what your CPA wants to know, she can be working for her parents.
Yeah, but that said parents has to have money to pay said kid.
Yep. Sounds like few lawns on the side.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, since your wife is a business owner, then she can pay your daughter and then make her use that money to pay for the volleyball that you were probably going to pay for anyway. But then at least that way you get to deduct it.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there's plenty of work. How many linens and laundry cleanings have to be done?
A bunch.
Yeah, that's a lot. See, that's a lot of work for a
about
young kid to do.
$5,000 worth.
Probably
sure.
that seems that checks out. Wait, I think did you say 5,750? Was that the exact number?
That's exactly what we pay for laundry service.
And there you have it, folks. Child labor gets the stuff done.
It's only illegal if it's not your kids.
Yeah, right.
Have you? Speaking of all this, have you filed your taxes yet?
No. Hell to the now. How many more months do I got?
You have till October 15th.
I hear the joy in his voice as he's telling you this. Is he like the last holdout of all your clients?
No.
There's somebody
else at the table.
Jeez.
I've got people that I'm calling on October 15th, and they're like, "I'm at a football game," and I'm like, "Well, the deadline's today, and if I file without your signature, I could go to jail. So, I really want you to sign this thing. You can sign it on your phone, just please, please, please. I don't want it to be late."
Yeah, the greatest story I have with taxes. What's your the egg lady, as I call her? What's her name?
Kaylee.
So last year I called up, and I don't remember when it was. It was getting close. And I'm like, hey, I need Carson to do my taxes. And when she answered, it was, hey, welcome, blah, 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 blah. How real spunky happy. How can I help you?
And you're like, what?
And I was like,
I called the wrong number?
I need Carson to do my taxes. And she immediately went, I don't know that he's going to be able to get your taxes. I was like, no. Tell him I'm part of the Whiskey Bros. Oh, okay, yeah, he'll do it. Bring it over.
Yeah, she did. She told me that, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll get it done. But yeah, she's a gatekeeper. It's hard to get past her.
Oh yeah.
So
kind of need that though, because you've built a popularity, like you have a likability where people know you personally. So you've got to have that gatekeeper.
We should have asked her. We put her number out there to sell some of her eggs. Man, she's got tons.
Oh man, yeah, and she has more now coming. I mean, they're not grown yet because the school sent home chickens with all of the kids. So then we had them at our house because then the cousins didn't have a place to put them.
Public school sent chickens home?
Yeah.
With
live
chickens.
We had to agree to it. But
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like the class. You never done that? Or if
We
you had a
brought
class,
chickens from here to the school.
No, if like the class pet, or if they had a project.
like they hatched the
No.
eggs in an incubator, and
Okay.
then it was like, hey, you can either take these chickens home
We're gonna
or
eat
tell
'em.
your kids you don't love them. Those are your choices. And we're like, all right.
That's sort of
I
like
guess
what
we'll
we
take
did
the chickens.
with the Guardians. We're
Yeah.
Like if you don't love kids,
Yeah.
don't come over
If you
there.
hate kids, don't go to
So
this car
we
wash.
got them about half raised, and then I was like about to have to buy a $1,500 chicken coop. And I was like, are we really going to stick to this? Because they were going to be grown.
Yeah.
Or should I just give these to Kaylee? She already has like 40 chickens, and 6 more is not really a big deal. And so she did take them, and then she gave us 3 cats instead. So
nice.
she was trying to get rid of some of
trade.
her kittens, and we have 3 kids. So I was like, we'll take 3 of your cats if you take these damn chickens out of my house.
Are they indoor cats?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, we have the field out there, and so they're already hunting stuff.
Nice.
So, and they're still kittens, but they're not catching mice yet, but they're catching lizards and the grasshoppers.
Grasshoppers.
Jeez,
Oh
the
my
grasshoppers.
they're
and
crazy.
they're torturing those grasshoppers. They're evil. I'm
Good,
telling you, cats
good.
are freaking evil.
Yeah, let those grasshoppers have it, dude. We could take a ride on the Ranger and we
Oh
would
my
come
God.
back with bruises on our face.
Yeah.
It's bad. They are bad this year.
Yeah, I was telling Chance, I was walking down to the shed, and I was just walking. You know how sometimes you see something move? I did one of these things, and it literally looked like the bark of the tree was alive. You could barely see the tree trunk. It was just a solid
grasshoppers?
tube of grasshoppers
gross.
going up the tree.
So it's got
insane.
what grass we did have because of no rains burn up. So now they're eating weeds, and then they crawl up the trees and they'll eat the leaves off the freaking trees.
Oh yeah.
I was they eat Bermuda.
Yes.
Yes, they do. Not as fast as they do other grasses, but yeah, when they run out of other stuff,
because
they will.
I didn't see any army worms, but my yard was starting to look like it did when we had army worms. Can you treat for them?
Yeah, temper.
Okay.
Army worms?
Temper or tempo?
What for? Are you saying?
No, not the army worms. For the grasshoppers.
Oh yeah, no. There's a chemical out there
It's either
called
temper or tempo.
Cross-Check Pro.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it
Okay,
will
that
kill,
one too.
but it kills everything. I mean, there's nothing out there that your yard will be pest free.
Good.
It's good stuff.
Greta
Van
Thunberg's
Fleet?
going to show up at your door. How dare you?
I dare you.
I hope so.
You killed the whole microbiome of your lawn. How dare you?
I'll turn the hose on her like I do when a stray dog shows up.
I meant to find a video of her. Somebody did an AI thing where she's talking about oil and how she's invested in oil companies. And it was like, okay, this is another virtue of AI because that was awesome.
I know, and maybe slightly scary.
It was done poorly enough where you could tell it was not realistic, but still pretty comical because it's Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, Cross-Check Easy Granule if you don't have a spray rig.
Okay.
But it works great.
Oh, so it's granular.
They have both.
Okay.
The chemical works better, obviously.
Yeah.
But-
We sprayed all of our fields, hay fields, with a variant of tempo or temper. I can't remember. But the problem with that is it'll stay on residually until you get any sort of rain, and then it washes right off. So all the grasshoppers that are dead, I mean, there's carcasses within 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But all the ones that you didn't kill in the perimeter and on out, come back.
Yeah,
in.
same
So-
reason I haven't sprayed the yard because I'll kill
kinda
what's on
pointless.
there, but then first time the sprinklers come on or it rains.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know how nature is supposed to deal with these things. Like, it's got to get to a point where they are so dense that they just cannibalize each other and starve out, and then it just resets because they are bad.
Yeah.
What if we do like that one show that had the farm, where they had snails, so they went and bought like
Little Big
700
Farm.
Yeah.
That was a great show.
Amazing.
They
Have
are
you
in
seen that?
California where they have cold winters. And
Yeah, but still they
don't have grasshoppers.
No,
They
but
were
they
dealing
had
with
snails,
snails.
so they went and bought like 600 ducks. All the ducks cleaned out all the snails.
Okay, so what do we buy to build
That's what I'm saying.
billions
What-
of grasshoppers?
Do we buy 8 million cats?
So my wife's grandfather was talking about ducks will eat grasshoppers too.
Yeah.
And so whenever they had a bad grasshopper year, they'd go buy a bunch of ducks and line them up almost like an army.
Yeah.
and then just send them across the yard. But whenever they're thick like this, they literally make it like halfway across your yard, and then they just lay down and take a nap because they're so full of grasshoppers, and it hasn't even made a dent in the grasshopper.
Same with chickens or guineas too. My grandparents always had guineas.
all that will eat it, but
you need 1 million guineas.
and if you did that, you're not going to have grass anyway because they're going to kill
gonna
all
eat
the
the
grass.
grass.
But
Yeah.
you know what does eat grasshoppers? I found out that we've been all griping about and spraying down their nests?
No.
Those mud birds.
Oh, really?
You go look on my porch right now.
Yeah.
I have the pile of bird poop.
Yeah.
Grasshopper heads dead. I'm guessing they're taking them up and feeding their babies.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But they're not going to put a dent.
No.
Oh, God,
Okay,
no.
so what we used to have, and that we don't have around here as much anymore, the egrets, the cowbirds we used to call them, the white birds. And I guess because the populations got so dense, they don't have a place to nest like they used to. They're not here anymore.
Dude.
And those used to come in the summer by the millions.
You know why we have so many more grasshoppers now?
Because we don't have egrets.
Because we don't have birds because the government took them over and they're all goddamn
That's
robots.
Right. They took the robots.
Robots don't eat grasshoppers.
No, that's what it
Podcast
is.
name right there. That's it.
Yeah, robots don't eat grasshoppers.
No, but locust plagues have. I mean, that's kind of
That's a
part of
grasshopper.
nature.
That's a biblical definition of a grasshopper.
Yes.
is a
Yeah.
locust. Now,
Even though I grew up thinking a locust was a cicada.
that's
Yeah,
what
me too.
we think. They're in the trees right now going.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but what we're seeing is something that's happened
Yeah.
forever. And
So it's Armageddon.
no, I think this just happens.
Just a warning.
Yeah, I think some
Yep.
years are just worse with grasshoppers, and you don't try to kill them. You just sort of like get along. I mean,
No, it's a warning about Mark Zuckerberg creating a Twitter alternative. Like,
That's
you know,
the ushering in
plague of
the,
locusts. Sorry.
the ushering
Yeah.
in of the Antichrist. And Joe Biden is president. And what's the next? Like we all have to be given a number.
Oh, yeah.
You no longer have a name. You're just a number.
well, it's the digital currency.
Oh, well, that's just
You already are a number to the government. They've
true.
been doing that since they handed out Social Security numbers.
That's right.
What that
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you could put your tax return out there with your Social Security number and put your name on there as huge ass or something like that, something stupid, and they would just be like, okay,
Mike Hunt.
yeah, yeah, and it would. I mean, as long as your Social Security matched the paperwork,
You're
they
good.
wouldn't care,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You have your number. That's all that matters. I'm
but
done.
technology does
No.
prevail.
Huh?
Technology does prevail because we're looking
now.
here at a news article about the first.
Oh, we're gonna go ahead and
flying
We're gonna go
car.
ahead and talk about this.
I think we should
now.
because I've been staring at it this whole time.
Wait. Whoa. How did that get put in the notes?
Siri must be listening.
Ooh wee.
Robots don't eat grasshoppers.
Well, that's a podcast name. Okay. First flying electric car, Model A, approved by the FAA, and it's 100% electric.
Okay, what's the difference between a flying car and a plane? At what point is it one and not the other?
Well,
that's the conundrum.
This
So-
looks like a traditional
Wings.
car.
I'm going to go as the first.
Yeah.
2, it don't have a propeller, so I'm still not.
What?
I don't see how it's flying.
So in the cabin here, like this thing is flying like horizontally.
Oh, are the wheels the jet engine?
Or the propellers, like a drone. I don't know.
It's available for pre-order. It said.
Well, Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah, trade in the Tesla.
Wow, look at that.
It's kind of ominous music.
It's like highway in the
They're
sky.
never going to allow that.
No.
Yeah, cops can't keep up with that.
First certified
Taking
car
that.
to fly by the FAA. Look, direct liftoff.
Yeah, but that's not even it. That's computer.
Has a flight range of 110 miles.
Okay, that's pretty impressive.
Wow.
So it just
so
kind of-
the example video that they're showing, and obviously it's a computer mock-up, but there's this semi like turned over in the road, and the car directly lifts up off the pavement, flies over the semi,
Yeah.
and then goes back down.
But look at the body panels here. So it's virtually hollow.
Yeah.
Air obviously is meant to flow down through this into the bottom of the car. So up
I bet you it works like a drone.
over the semi. That's the only way it can work.
Yeah.
Okay, see, we're all libertarian purists until we see something like this, and then I'm like already ready for some regulation. I don't want somebody without a pilot's license
Look
flying
how
a
this thing's
car over
okay.
me.
So look, it's up, it's vertical, it's not flying.
It's cool.
Okay,
I
I'm
mean,
gonna have to look that
it's,
shit
it's
up.
cool, but do you want some idiot like without a pilot's license to be able to hover over your car? Because I just know they're gonna fall on me.
Yeah.
Well, and they'll never allow every car to be flyable like that. It'll be on some kind of rail system because you got to think our traffic works because we're all cattle going the same direction.
Well, that's with dumb cars. Everything now is becoming self-regulating.
Yeah.
I drove part of the way to Houston. Actually, my car drove part of the way to Houston without me controlling it.
Right. But we tried that and almost ran us through Burger King.
Well, it's obviously in development, but it's just an example that progress is happening.
Yeah,
you'll see people buying weight straps to put on the steering wheel to trick it into thinking you're touching it.
You're still touching it. Yeah.
It's and now it's about tricking the interior camera, because the interior camera will watch you.
So that's the way Sarah's car works. Is it's got the Super Cruise. You don't have to touch the steering wheel, but it's got the camera that watches you. And if I'm looking at her, talking to her more than 5 seconds, or if I'm looking around at scenery, beep, beep. It's automatically vibrating the seat and flashing lights like, look at the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't, it takes it out of Super Cruise. And if you don't mess with it, it slowly brings you over to the shoulder.
Yeah.
And stops you.
Okay, so you know where we will be on the other side whenever you just happen, say you're traveling ranch roads, because we only ever do this. Like we travel.
I'd love to have a flying car for ranch roads. No
crack
more
a roadie for the ranch road.
Yeah.
And the car refuses to drive because it senses a alcoholic beverage. Yeah.
It's got they automatically have breathalyzers built in, but they just measure the air.
Or it sees that that dingling light can and it says, oh, that's an alcoholic beverage.
Oh, that's when you put the fake magnet on it. That's like, no, Coca-Cola. Look, Coca-Cola.
It's so I think very soon we're going to enter the age where you're going to have a koozie on your beer to have it in your car.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. But what if you're drinking an IBC root beer?
Yeah,
and the car's like, well, it's a beer bottle.
It says beer,
but and it's a amber colored dark glass bottle.
I'm sure you just got to tell Siri to tell ChatGPT to tell Alexa to tell your car that it's just a root beer and there's no alcohol in it.
So to answer your question, I think is because cars are slowly becoming computers.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
that's the way that happens. Is you have a software implementation that's like
very quickly
this
becoming
is the path you fly on.
Computers.
Oh yeah, so. But then they're going to have like flight control or whatever. That's what they're called, right? But for cars, and it's going to be AI flight control.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, I can promise you it's going to be jacked up because it's got those 3 letters up there connected to it.
FAA.
Oh yeah.
God. Yep.
Oh. New age.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on that note,
flying cars.
Flying cars.
And robots don't eat grasshoppers. Well, thanks for joining us again, Carson.
Heck yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Find his work. What your CPA wants to know. Search for it on podcast, wherever you get your major podcast. And then, has your book sold better since y'all started a podcast? Have you seen a bump up in sales?
Whenever we mention it on there, we do see.
Well, then we'll mention it here and get you another bump up in sales. Maybe
we appreciate that.
At least 2 more sales from our 18 listeners. 23. Okay.
And we have another one coming out that's specialized on S Corp specifically, and it's going to be a little bit shorter, a little bit cheaper, and so anyway, that's going to be. So we'll have some episodes about that.
Yeah,
too.
y'all are very honed in on S Corps. That's a very passionate topic. I feel like
not enough people do it.
Yeah.
It could be benefiting.
I feel like I'm on the opposing end of these two. Like January, these guys are like, October 15th. Okay, maybe I'll have my shit ready. January 29th, I'm like, hey, man,
that shit done.
Can you file my stuff? It's done. Can you file it? No, it's not February yet. One more day.
And we appreciate that because that's one less that we have to do during the crunch time.
Yeah. That's my goal. And to get some money back at the end of the year, too. Anyways, all right, that's it for me.
What your CPA wants you to know.
Yeah.
He meant to say it's it for us, but yeah, we got it.
I mean, you can keep
all
talking
about
if you want.
bougie,
I'm just
bro.
going to turn
All
my mic
about
off.
bougie,
Y'all have a great night.
Thanks for listening. Good night.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Whiskey Bros Around the Table.
vivir con los hermanos Whiskey.